What is justice for MadelineSoto? Let me ask you that question. What is justice for MadelineSoto? If you know me, you know justice equals the truth. It's understanding and what? Whatever. All right. Got a little technical issue. Sorry, folks. Some technical problems with X. Can't go on X today. We'll be on X again. So, what is justice? To me, justice is the truth. It's the truth. And when it comes to Stephen Stearns, if we believe, and I haven't heard anything to the contrary, that their evidence is accurate, what they have placed in documents and in reports that have become public, the truth about Stephen Stearns seems pretty obvious to me. Seems very obvious to me. And based upon what we've charged him with and the basis for that, and it starts with what was found on his phone. So that's the truth, I believe, for him. I mean, I'll see what happens at the trial. But, we haven't heard anything from the defense saying that it's not the truth. As a matter of fact, the defendant hasn't even shown up in a courtroom, by the way, has waived his appearance each and every single time in this case. I don't know when that ends. It's got to end at some point. So understanding his alleged responsibility for all of this, it's obvious where the truth is pointing. And we have now, and I'm sure you've heard, some of these emails that have been made public, emails between Stearns and his family. I believe it's his mother using the son's account, going back and forth about life in the pokey and some of the thoughts of the family. But need to take a look at that, because if there's any truth to anything that they're saying, then we have not gotten close to justice for MadelineSoto yet. If there's any truth to it. And again, you have to take it with a grain of salt. This is the family of the man who all the evidence is pointing at, a man who I don't know what his defense is going to be for the images that were found on his phone. I have no idea what on earth his defense is going to be. So, all right, I'm just checking, making sure everyone is here. Everyone is loading up. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good, folks. So what exactly? What exactly do these emails say? What can we glean from them? There was one in particular, I think, that is the one that's most important to take a close look at because of the potential, and I say potential in italics, implications because of the source of where it's coming. It's coming from the family of the guy who is seemingly caught red-handed with the images on his phone and everything else connected to the recovery of MadelineSoto. And his story just doesn't make much sense at all. It seems to be provably untrue based upon the evidence that's been made public so far. So that's the source. But regardless, I think anytime you come across information, you have to take it seriously and you have to look at it to see what, if anything, it means and what should be done about it. Also, I'm going to get into that. What should be done about it, I think, is important in all of this as well. So let me get to it right now, and we'll begin in the beginning. Okay. You don't see the commissary and cannot order anything? I hope that gets resolved quickly. Do you remember your balance? Jail and prison are not meant to be comfortable, all part of the mental punishment, I guess. Stay positive, talk with your attorneys. Okay, like any family member is going to give you some positive encouragement when you're locked up, regardless, right? You give them a pass on that. Nothing wrong with that. It seems very normal. Any reaction that a parent, even if it's an adult child, is going to have. Now, What do they believe? What do they think about all this? How well do they know Stephen Stearns, their son? Again, to me, the thing that makes this case different when it comes to my thoughts before the trial are the allegations and the evidence that's been made public and the source and the genesis of the allegations. Like I don't know what the defense is going to be. I'm sure there will be one at some point for having these images on your phone. But if the images are on the phone and they show Madeline and they show the place where Madeline lived in that home, the place where Stephen Stearns was living, and shows um, parts of Stearns' body that apparently are very distinct and can be identified, then I don't know where you're going with any defense. I don't know where you're going. And to me, the presumption of innocence still applies inside the courtroom, but doesn't necessarily apply outside the courtroom, right? The jury must presume him innocent. Our system of justice must presume him innocent. But based upon this, tell me something, show me something, file a motion. Let me know why we should not believe this. Was this planted? Was this AI? What exactly was this? Is this a deep fake? Is that what are there hundreds and hundreds of deep fakes that you were creating here on video and photograph? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. So that's where I am mentally approaching that. So a family member, how are they going to react to that? They don't want to believe that their child could potentially do this, even if it's an adult child, even if they're a little bit off, even if there's been problems at home. No, no, no. There's more to the story. Even if they do believe it, um, they can still care about their son who's in jail waiting for his trial. So this first message from a mother to a son, um expected. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong or inappropriate or surprising. Right now we get to this part of this email. This gets a little different. Now we're in a whole different territory. I keep thinking about how you would not ever, not never, but not ever rat out a friend. It really made me mad. And I felt like you valued them over us when you let them get away with stuff. Don't be doing that again. What does this mean? Does this mean you got in trouble before for something that's unrelated to this? Or is this related? Is the them Jen Soto and company and someone else doing something and you're not ratting them out? Not quite sure what's going on here. Don't be doing that again, right? So it seems like there was some prior controversy or incident involving Steph Stearns where there were other people involved, and apparently mom doesn't think he's responsible for it, but he wasn't going to rat them out, so he took it. Well, don't do that again because this is much more serious, is what I'm reading here. Now, it could be related to them, and I'm reading it wrong, but it seems to be the line, don't be doing that again. Seems to me that there was some level of trouble or controversy that he got embroiled in. There were other people that mom thinks were involved or responsible. Maybe that's the lines that he fed her. Either way, she is under the belief that last time you took the hit for someone else's conduct, and don't do that again. All right. So that's mom going to bat for her son and giving him some advice about his current situation, which, is game ender for him. I mean, His life as he knows it is over with this stuff. Both sets of charges that he's facing are game enders. You know, you don't recover from that. You don't get out. Your liberty is gone. So now let's get to the next one as we continue through this email. Again, this was on the I think it's on the son's email, but we believe it's coming from the mother. Okay. Now we get to this case. We all know Redacted, and we believe that's Jen Soto, was heavily involved in this. And I am disgusted that she is free and you are not, when this is not all your fault. Okay, this is not saying you're taking the fall for something that someone else did. This is, all right, yeah, you're partly responsible here, but it's not you alone. It's not you alone. Well, it seems it was him alone on the video, although Jen Soto seemed to encourage that, whether she encouraged that actual behavior, but having them alone is problematic. We all know Jen Soto was heavily involved with this. Now, what is this? What exactly is this? Is this the abuse in the photographs? Is this something even larger than that? Distribution of this? Is this then what happened after the birthday party? That's not clear. But mom is, and I am disgusted that she is free and you are not. She is free and you are not. Meaning, I guess you both should not be free. You need to think about yourself more and her less. She sure isn't thinking of you and how she can help you right now. So, again, this is coming from an insider. As much as we've heard in this case, this is coming from the family of Steph Stearns. Someone who could be discussing things with him and know things that the public wouldn't necessarily know about whatever was going on in that house and who was responsible and how it was taking place. You need to think about yourself more and her less. You think about yourself more. And it goes back to the original, right? About ratting out on friends. That's how this began. Like, you did that before. Now it's time to think of yourself, not her. Use whatever leverage you have. Because she knows how serious all this is. She knows this is one of those cases. Where it's, at the end of the day, if he's found guilty, it's over. One way or the other, whether or not it is the ultimate punishment or not, it's over. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. So is there a bargaining chip here? So this leads down two roads, right? It seems from this that whatever he knows, she may know. If he knows it, she knows it. So what do we do with that information? Stephen Stearns has a lawyer. He's not going to speak. The only time he'll speak is if he's going to get something out of it. But how about her? How about talking to her? How about throwing a subpoena at her? What does she know? What does she know? Seems like she's got some cards to play here herself. Now, she may not want to give it up, but what would she say? What would she say? What does she know about what was happening in that house if she is saying this is not all your fault and that she's disgusted that she's free? You should think about yourself. Play your cards. Obviously, Steph Stearns is only going to do something if he's getting something. And who knows how much he wants? Who knows what he can give? But it would be related to mom, period. Which brings us full circle back to the question we always land on when you're talking about this case is, what is Jen Soto's role going to be in this prosecution? Is she going to be sitting next to Steph Stearns at some point? Or is she going to be sitting in the witness box, providing important information to fill in the gaps for the prosecution so they can tell their story and explain the timeline and get an inside view as to what was happening here? But you can see Steph Stearns' mom thinks there's something that can be done here, some maneuvering, meaning you have to have information that they don't have at this point. Information that would seemingly implicate Jen Soto. That's the only way I can read this, is that there's something else to give up here. There's another piece. Another piece to this puzzle that hasn't been put together yet. Veronica's been waiting for Vinny's take on all the new stuff that came out. We're going to do some more tonight also on my show. 8 to 10 tonight. We'll be doing this in the second hour, the 9 o'clock hour. 8 o'clock, we're going to talk about a big case, big thing that's going to trial on Monday. It's a case involving a ballerina accused of taking out her husband. And now she's got the beginnings of a movement to support her. So we'll be talking about that. So should there be a discussion, and there should be, because it seems like Steph Stearns' mother has information. Now, there is no mother-child protection of conversations. It's not like husband and wife. It's not like doctor-patient. This is something you can pierce and you can get to. If you're still investigating Jen Soto and you can't put it together, maybe she has the information. Now, would she give it up, or would she lawyer up and say, I'm not talking to you people? You want any information from me? You give something to my son. True Crime Beat is here. Right back at you. Patricia's in the middle of it down in Orlando. Great to see you, Patricia. As is Cassie down in Central Florida. Jay with a great point here. Thank you, Jay. His family didn't seem disgusted with his behavior per that email. Which is interesting because, Jay, when you read this, right, it seems like this is not all your fault. This is not all your fault. Meaning they know that there's some connection here, yet they're, like, how could you? Why would you? How does a parent react to a child in trouble? Is that unconditional? It's hard, right? It's hard to imagine to have that unconditional connection to your child accused of doing this. But not just like an accusation out of left field, an accusation based upon actual images from a phone that they found, a phone that he did an accidental factory reset on, right? I mean, that's the other part of this. Why you can't? It's so hard to even take seriously his defense or his story. Mm. Good early evening to you, McSpunky. All right. So, Kathy acts not a full screen. There were definitely some problems on Facebook. Um, which ear are you seeing of me? Facebook is having a problem. Let me see. Let me see what's going on with Facebook. Facebook. I'll take a look so I can see what you're seeing. Oh, that is weird. Yeah. Facebook, there was a mix up between Facebook. So if I go over here, do you see me better? I'll have to hang out in the middle. Here we go. That is a Facebook problem. I'll just let you know. That is all Facebook. That is a Facebook problem. I'll just let you know. That's more Zuckerberg. You can go on YouTube. You can see me full screen on YouTube. All right. Yeah, it's interesting because we're simulcasting Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. X is not working today either, so been a big problem. All right, so let's continue on this. Now you can see me, Bella. Bella Fortuna says they have no picture. Are you serious? Let me check YouTube. Is YouTube a problem? Let me see if YouTube's a problem. All these issues, technical issues. It's definitely not my fault. There were some problems with the software and YouTube and Facebook hooking up. But let me just make sure we're okay on this one. 1 second. Find it. Okay. Yeah, YouTube looks fine. YouTube is definitely good. Okay, Bella, if you can't see the picture, try a reboot, or maybe you got to plug it in, or make sure your screen is turned on. Maybe it's your phone. I don't know. You guys see me now? This is weird, right? Maybe refresh. Everyone on Facebook, refresh. Because I think there may have been a problem early on, but now maybe Facebook has fixed it. So maybe you just refresh your screen and you might be able to see me. Let me know if the refreshing works. Trophy wife. I've always said Jen allowed it to keep him around. Okay. So if that's the case, is it all his fault? No. No, if she's knowingly allowing it to happen, that's legally. But from a perspective of a mother, the fact that she's allowing it to happen is no mitigation of what you're doing. It's like zero mitigation. It's none. It doesn't do anything. All these people can't see me on Facebook. Facebook, refresh, refresh, refresh. I can only see half. All right. I'm going to slide all the way over here, but now I'm further away from the comments. I will try to read all the way over here. Yeah. Kathy says, zoom out, Vinny, can only see your shoulder. No, it's this. It's Facebook. It's Facebook totally messed this up. Melly, part of the Mod Squad. Melly, Gen X to the 7th. Frankie Figs, getting it done. And Facebook, very active today, more so than ever. Cheryl, you are too handsome to not be fully seen, Vinny. Yeah. All right. Let's see. How far behind are we? All right. So I'm like 20 minutes behind. So I think we'll be all right. A lot of comments all about Facebook. Too close to the screen. Mad about Maya. Them isn't always plural. Yeah. I think in this case it is, though. I think in this case it is. It's all about context, but thank you, Mad about Maya. It's hard. I'm trying to ferret through all the comments about just seeing one eye or my ear. And now Carolyn's video went off a little while ago. Yeah, it's what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And McSpunky is checking in. Great to see McSpunky. Elaine likes the shirt, the T-shirt. She allegedly likes it. This, I think, really gets to it, right? Right, Michelle? Wonder what story he told his parents. He lied to police with no problem, and there are harsher consequences for lying to the police. I think that's a terrific analysis of this. Terrific analysis by Michelle. Thank you. What story did he tell his parents and his family? DM, maybe Jennifer's free because there's no evidence on her. Mom Stearns is trying to help the monster she raised. Yeah, and it could be based upon what he told her. But if there is anything, it's the only play that Stearns has. But it's not going to get him much. It's not going to get him much at all. Even if he had information implicating the mother, what would the prosecutor give up? Maybe just the ultimate punishment. Maybe it's just life in prison. We'll give you life, period. End of story. You plead, you give us all the information. I think that's got to be the only way. Now, Martini Kelly says, was Jen Soto holding the camera? And from what I understand from the description, because obviously none of us are ever going to see those photos, we will only hear descriptions, is that there is no third person in the room holding the camera. The person whose parts are seen in some of the images is the one holding the camera. That's the way it's been described. That's the way it's been described. Angela, I believe She was K'd because she was finally tired of the abuse, and I believe she was going to tell someone. Angela, I agree. I think it's either the threat to tell someone or resisting, because now she was 13. Teenagers are different. Teenagers are different. And I think Maddie finally, became a teenager. She's not a child anymore. And I think she resisted and either physically resisted or said, listen, this is going to stop. And that could absolutely play a role in all of it. And it may have been something that was unexpected by Steph Stearns. Wasn't anticipating that moment. Mm-hmm. One, two, three, Rockchild. Vinny, if any of your Court TV investigators found out what Jen had been up to and where she is, the last I heard was that she was living in that home. But that was a while ago. Tonight at 9, got more insiders from down in Central Florida on, and I will pose that question again. Thanks so much, 1, 2, 3, Rockchild. That's, very low profile, no statement released, either publicly or through a lawyer, which to me is somewhat surprising considering the hit that she's taken in all of this. Let me see what's next in this text. I'll play the next little part of it. So is there a bargaining chip? Is there not? That whole family is willing to stay quiet and let you take the fall for everything. When you do that, you are hurting us too. Please get out of your head over this and start talking with your attorneys. This stuff is serious. You need to approach it as life and death, which it is. There you go. There you go. So at this point now, this is the bargain. This is the bargain. Life and death, right? That's the bargain. And I think that's an understanding. You're hurting us too. You're hurting us, your parents who brought you into this world. If you end up on the row, that's going to hurt us. You end up in the room on the table, that hurts us too. So start talking so you can turn this into life. Life is life. It'll be life on the inside, but it's better than the alternative here. And they're saying that whole family staying quiet, meaning they believe the whole family knows that there's something weird going on with mom. Start talking with your attorneys, because you talk to your attorneys and your attorneys talk with the prosecution. That's how it's done. We'll see. We'll see. But I would send the investigators to go talk to Stearns' family. What do you guys know? What do you know? There's no privilege. Okay. So Joanne Spring says we don't need her in a witness box. His phone is proof she needs to be in prison. Okay. I agree with the first case. The first case, self-explanatory. I think the connection between where the photos are taken can be established by those who investigated the crime scene and can identify it. That I understand. But it's for the second part of all of this, the one where he's facing the ultimate penalty, where I believe she can, on the witness stand, provide some vital information about living and sleeping arrangements. Statements that she made prior to investigators, that's not evidence. That's not evidence. That's hearsay. That will not be admissible in court. You can't use someone else's statement that was made outside of the courtroom and bring that into the courtroom and use it as evidence. It will be inadmissible. So if you want to get in that they were together and alone, if you want to put that timeline together a little tighter, and if she does have some very specific information, she can fill in a lot. Jurors won't like her unless she comes across as very simple and easily manipulated, which is possible. I think most jurors will have the same reaction that most people have, that a mother doesn't do what she did. Mother doesn't allow what she allowed. It's not even allowing it. It's like making it happen. Listen, I need to sleep tonight. You too. Go in the other room together. What? So she could provide information that you're not getting anywhere else. And here's always my concern, especially in Central Florida. You have to, in a serious case like this, present the strongest case possible. Period. Now, if you have no information that she's actually involved in any of these cases, then she's an obvious witness. If she is involved, you have to determine the extent of the involvement, and then based upon the extent of the involvement, make the ethical call of what, if any, deal she should get in exchange for truthful testimony. That's what you have to do. And I get the issues. There's a lot of issues with this mother. But to prosecute, you need the evidence to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. All right, everyone, wish Kimberly B. a happy birthday. 29 again. And a gift to myself was downtime to catch my podcast. So you're my gift. LOL. Sussex, Sandra. Where is Jen Soto right now? She can't be out free. Yeah, she is. She's culpable, maybe. Well, as a parent, right? We all know that she's culpable as a parent. Legally culpable is the next level that we can look at this. The next lens we can look at this through. Parental culpability, moral culpability, absolutely. No doubt, based upon her own statements. Legal culpability, I don't know if we're there. She allowed this all to happen. She gave SS permission. Absolutely, by letting her sleep in that bed with an adult male. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But did she know? See, that the next phase of proving that case, though, is you have to know what is taking place. So you'd have to prove that she had knowledge of that. She has not admitted that. So you can't use any admission by her. There would have to be something in a communication with her daughter, maybe an electronic communication. You have to prove that part of it, that it's knowingly doing this. And without that, you can't prove it. And if you can't prove it, you can't charge it. You have to be able to prove it to charge it. So that's where this case is stuck with her. Everyone's got different situations right now with Facebook. My screen is a toothpick. I hear you, Vinny. Yeah, and I could tell that there's a problem with Facebook because our Facebook numbers are a little bit lower today than they usually are for the live streams. Okay. I'm confused. What was released today? SS's mom. These are text messages. Well, SS has been incarcerated, pretrial incarceration with his mom. And we believe it is through her son's account. Um, and this is part of one message that I grabbed for this podcast. All right, let's see how it continues now. So the negotiation is the negotiation. We'll see if and when that happens. I think of the craziness Redacted lived through. I think that's Madeline with Redacted various partners, Jen Soto's various partners. Not a stable life at all for a child. I do pray for Redacted and for you daily. I am thrilled that you are working out again and have a physical outlet for the stress. Yeah. Okay. A physical outlet. Now, this, again, pointing the finger at Jen Soto, creating some craziness in Madeline's life is the allegation. So what is this craziness? Again, this is something as an investigator and as a prosecutor, I'd like to see if we can get the answer to. What are these allegations about? What are they actually about? So the question is, should I try? I don't know if I can, in the middle of a podcast, reboot the Facebook stream. I think I can only remove it. Let me see if I can edit it. What can I do? I don't think there's anything I can do to it. Here, edit it. Okay. Facebook, vote. Let me know if you want me to try to reboot the stream for you. I think I figured out how to do it. I'd have to end this stream for Facebook only and then restart it. Some people can't even see me. All right. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to try to edit the Facebook. Remove it. I've removed Facebook and now I'm going to add it back. Let's see. I rebooted the Facebook stream. We'll see if it does anything. All right. Facebook, let me know if that worked so I can move back to my normal spot. Well, I'll be over here now anyway, my normal spot. All right. Technical difficulties. Danielle Shasha. These emails are crazy. It's like he's in there for shoplifting. Honest to God, I feel they know he did it. I think that's coming through, that he's responsible. They just don't think he's fully responsible. So he has some level or leverage to negotiate, keeping himself from ending up on the row. They just don't want him to go down alone. Exactly. But they want something in exchange because they know he's facing the ultimate punishment. They want to get that taken off the table. And you got to use whatever chips you have. Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate it so much. Where'd you find this fabulous T-shirt? Says CBC. Oh, you like the T-shirt? I got this. I gave a talk at an organization of lawyers down in Georgia, and they had it. I don't know if they sell them. I'll see if I can get a link. I don't. I have to check, see if they have a website with a link. They may. So if they do, I'll put it up for you guys. This is a pretty good shirt. Laura Phillips, family should have reported, knew, guilty too. Hey, how about this? Now, all right. So, Laura, that's a great point. If they knew ahead of time, they should have done something. Oh, this is interesting. Um, family should have reported it. They knew they're guilty too. Okay. Let me break this down. One thing we don't know is when did they find out? Did they know ahead of time or did they have some conversation or explanation from him after the fact? I don't even know if he had time to explain it to him. Maybe through an attorney. I don't know. But it does seem if they knew of craziness ahead of time, why did they not report the craziness ahead of time? And why not say something now? Because they want something, which gives them a reason to lie. Gives them a reason to lie. All right. So if you tap on the comments of Facebook, it messes up the screen. Okay. So I'm not going to put any Facebook comments up. All right. Because apparently it messes up the screen. So I will not do that unless everything's seemingly normal now. My peeps, he's so dumb. He thought factory reset would cover everything. Yeah, that's it. That's the moral of the story. That's the moral of the story. That is the moral of this story. Let's see. I'm trying to skip Facebook. I'm not being mean, but somebody just said that if I hit the Facebook comments, it messes up the screen. So I'm going to stay away from those for the moment, and stay on the YouTube comments. And everyone's saying that YouTube is looking good. YouTube is fine. YouTube is clear. Hit the refresh button too, folks. Refresh might help. These are the most Facebook comments we've ever gotten on one of these live streams. And it's because of technical difficulties. Captain Jenks, if the DP is taking it off the table, Stearns will sing on Gem, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's the one thing that can move him, right? Because he's pretty much a coward. The question is, will prosecutors offer that? Will prosecutors believe what he says? I think he would need any statement or implication he would want to make against her would have to include some sort of independent corroboration of what he's saying, because you can't take him at his word. Because if you base your case against her on his word, it has no value. It has no value. That's not beyond a reasonable doubt. That is full of doubt. This is a man who has the biggest reason in the world to lie. The biggest reason. But if they can independently corroborate it and they want to get to the full truth, if that is the case, I think it should happen too. Elaine McKenzie, your t-shirt brings out your lovely eyes. Why, thank you, Elaine. I appreciate it. Big Girl for Life. Did you hear SS Audio on GHI? Yes. And he'll be on my show tonight, I believe, as well, talking about all this. Gray Hughes Investigates. Make sure you're subscribed, folks. Great channel. He approaches investigations a little differently than other folks on YouTube. So take a look at it. A lot of audio, and we've played a lot of it on my show on Court TV as well. You'll listen to his stories. There's provable lies in there, provable lies that you can prove through independent sources that are not connected to like someone saying something. Patty Ward, it could be Stearns is telling his parents BS to make himself less guilty. Very common in the criminal world. They don't just minimize their culpability to their family, but they'll do it in court. Like I've seen defendants who have taken deals and then have gone like an extra step to even minimize their culpability for things that they admitted to as part of their plea deal. That's how crazy it gets. People don't like to admit the awful things that they do, even if they've entered into an agreement and they have placed on the record that, yes, I did these things. Then they'll get in court and testify and try to minimize everything. And as soon as you start minimizing, it becomes very obvious. The jury picks up on it. And then at that point, it becomes very dangerous because the jury can just reject everything you say, including the things that you're saying, to attempt to help the prosecution hold to account everyone who's responsible. April Diaz. I don't know if this is off topic, but I rarely catch you live. I need you to stop saying hug the kids at the end of your show. I don't have any. If random kids all end up on court TV. April, let me explain what I'm saying. So, hug the kids obviously can be taken literally for people who are the caregivers for children in their homes, but it's also meant metaphorically for us, the adults in this world, which is to metaphorically, not literally, hug strangers and other people's children, right? It is to keep an eye out and protect children. See something, say something. See something, do something. You see a child that is in danger. You see a child that needs something. Do something to help that child. So that's the metaphoric meaning of what I say at the end of my programs that I've been saying for years now. And for parents, a reminder for parents, hey, don't forget to hug your kids. I know the parents don't forget, but I think it's for all of us that to remember that we are the adults in society. We are the ones who need to keep our eyes out and be aware of situations. And you see a child at the mall standing alone. Well, don't abduct the child, but if that child is alone and potentially in danger, do something to make sure the child is safe. You suspect something. Don't turn a blind eye to it. That's all. Or if a child's doing something that looks a little dangerous, say, oh, son, you might not want to do that. That's a little dangerous. That's all. So that's what I'm saying. It's not off topic. Nothing's off topic, April. Thank you so much. Oh, who else is here tonight? Don't forget, 8 to 10 tonight, 2 hours live, true crime, unscripted on television. Nobody else does it. Night after night, Monday through Friday. Then Sunday nights, we're in the midst of season 2 of my Accomplice show. So, all right. Is Facebook better now? I'm almost caught up here. Is Facebook better? Maybe not. If anyone's on Facebook and you had a bad signal and now you have a better signal, let me know. Oh, let me take a look on my Facebook. I'll just take a look here. 1 second. Bear with me. I'm going to refresh my screen and see. Oh, yeah. I fixed it. I fixed it. It had to be rebooted. Go figure. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think I can put the Facebook comments up. Julie Fornell, do you have to pay a fee to get an answer to a question? No. The answer is no, Julie. So I answered that one. But if you have another question, put it up there, Julie. It's just I get a lot of comments, so I scroll through them and randomly get to some. But obviously, always take the time to appreciate the super chats. Melly, no kids, but I'm a hugger. Great advice, Vinny. And here's the link to the Sunday night show. Facebook is back. Facebook is good. All right. Oh, April's back. Fair enough. I'm sorry. It was half a joke. You don't have to reply to this. Thanks. But I did. No, but like, I get it. I get it. Every once in a while, I have to take a moment and remind folks why I say that. Oh, Julie, here's Julie's back. Disgusting. She needed her own bedroom. Her mother is guilty as Stearns. I hope they both go to jail. Is she as guilty? Well, you look at it two ways, right? If you're a parent, it's your responsibility to protect that child. So from that perspective, more guilty because it's your child. But in the eyes of the law, not as guilty, at least based upon what's been made public so far. Oh, and wait, where is it? And don't forget, Jennifer Sube, our new member of the Mod Squad. Thank you so much. So this is from Fagan Court. Can they confirm she gave her to him? She sort of confirmed that in her own statement, or well, unless she denies making the statement. In her own statement to police, she told them that there were times when she would send them off together to a different bedroom at night if she wanted to sleep in, if she was really tired, or if she had a headache. She would send them off together somewhere else. So that's where that all comes. That's where all that comes from. Mm-hmm. All right. So here's the situation. I'll be on tonight on Court TV from 8 to 10. I'll just tell you, I'll take this down for a second. Or actually, what else do we have here? Let's play the end of this. I got to get to the end of this. This one note that was sent. I think there's one more paragraph at the end. Oh yeah. I hope you get your coffee and candy straightened out quickly. So far, I haven't seen a cancellation on Congo. Let us know as stuff filters down to you through the system. This origami book is just paperback, no paper, just patterns. If I read it right, well, I am off to feed the curly ones now. Love, hugs, and prayers now and every day and night. Mom. So there you go. There you go. So tonight we'll be talking about this story. In our first hour, we're going to talk about a case that's been bubbling up for a while now. It went up to the appellate court, but it's back now. Case involving a ballerina named Ashley Benefield. Not Ashley Banfield. Ashley Benefield. She was a swimsuit model. She was a ballerina. She met a man named Doug Benefield. She was 24. He was 54. He had recently lost his wife of many years. And they met, and within 13 days, they were married. Doug Benefield had a successful businessman. They were living in Charleston, South Carolina at the time. And Ashley wanted to set up this ballet company. So he got some investors, and I think he put some of his own money in, and they set up this special ballet company, which was, I guess, Ashley's dream business that she wanted to set up. And these dancers from around the world signed up. There was something, I don't know much about ballet, but there was supposed to be something special about this ballet school and the way it was set up. So all of the dancers who were coming were really excited about it, like really excited about this new school. Then Ashley gets pregnant. So now they're expecting a child. There's some stress in the home, and things seem to be falling apart with the ballet school. And there was some controversy in this because these dancers had given up other opportunities in their careers to be a part of this school and this ensemble. I guess they would be performing, and it just fell south. And they were from around the country, around the world, and I think some got stuck, and it was really frustrating to them. But she then was accusing Doug of trying to poison her and the baby, and she moved down to Florida to be with her mother. Well, then this battle ensues, and it ends up being a custody battle. And there's moments of alleged reconciliation, and moments of no reconciliation, and moments where she's accusing him of doing things. It gets in front of a judge down there in family court, and the judge summarily dismisses all of her allegations against Doug and does not believe her. Says she has like zero credibility when it comes to these allegations that she's making. Then there's talk of another reconciliation, and he shows up at her mother's house with a U-Haul. And the alleged plan, according to his family, is that they were going to reconcile and move back to Maryland. I think originally they lived in Maryland, or he lived in Maryland, or there's some connection to Maryland. And from her perspective, there's an issue, and she ends up taking him out with a weapon and shooting him. So she's claiming self-defense. She's claiming he's a stalker. She's claiming she's the victim in all of this. And now her case has started to pick up some support. There's a We Stand with Ashley Benefield movement taking place. They've chosen a color different than Karen Reed. It's not pink. It's more of a purple, light purple color. And that trial begins next Monday. There's a big hearing tomorrow, but we're going to be talking about the case tonight and this movement to support her. And I'm wondering if this is going to be like a new thing. Like we saw what happened with the Karen Reed case, how that snowballed. Will other people who believe they are wrongfully accused of something reach out to the community and attempt to get some level of support? Now, obviously, she doesn't have the numbers that Karen Reed had. It's not even close to that. But there is something happening down there. So we're going to talk about that tonight on the show. And then we're going to talk about MadelineSoto, and we'll get into these communications. We'll get into some more of the information that came out, sort of putting together the timeline and the evidence in the case. So we'll be doing that at 8 o'clock tonight. We start with the ballerina, 9 o'clock, MadelineSoto. And Melly, thank you, Vinny. See you on Closing Arguments. Closing Arguments tonight, 8 o'clock on Court TV. Big thanks to Frankie Figs, Gen X to the 7th, Melly. I'm looking for Gen X. I can't find. And there's Gen X and Jennifer Subed. Okay, thank you all. so much for watching. I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. I'll see you here. I've got to fix our X stream and Facebook. I'll figure out if there's something going on here, but I think we're all right there. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your great comments. Have a good night. See you at 8. Don't forget, April, to hug the kids.